Hey crafters, this is Paulette in Missouri, and it's time for June's name tags, and we are making a card to fit inside these little at the office name badges. For a couple of dollars you get the little vinyl parts, and then for a couple dollars you get the little pincher part. For today's tag we are going to be using a couple of Papertreyink stamp sets. This one is Garden Variety. And we're just going to use this little grassy image from this set. We're using iconic images, and we're using the picture and these flower blooms and the foliage from this set. And we'll be using the month of June from Wood Stamps by the Paper Studio, month of the year. The inks we're going to be using are Stampin' Up. We're going to use Old Olive, Lucky Limeade, Rich Razzleberry, and Lovely Lilac. We will also be using Ranger's Black Archival ink for the month. So let's get these all set up here. I like to just lay the stamp I'm going to be using right on the pad. So that's what I'm going to do. I really thought I might do a Father's Day theme for this month, and then the more I thought about that, I decided no, I'm not going to do that. Let's just do something fun and something floral. So we're going to start by stamping the picture. I usually stamp the main image first. And I think they turned out really good. This was very simple, no coloring. I just had to have something. I love to do the coloring, but I had to have something that was quick and painless this month. The next thing we're going to stamp is this greenery, and I actually did it twice. We're doing it in Old Olive, and then I went right to my Lucky Limeade pad and tipped it just a bit, and I've got ink all over my, let's get rid of that. Tilt it to the right just a bit and stamp it again. And I just think that gave a very interesting, filled it in a little more and just gave it more of a bushy appearance. I love these two stamp sets from Papertreyink. Okay, so we're done with the Old Olive. The next stamp is the blooms. And you can line them up. They line up perfectly. I'm going to line them up on the Old Olive portion. Just like that. And then I took this grassy image from Garden Variety, and I'm going to use the Lucky Limeade to stamp either side of each card. So let's move these over, and I don't really want to get it on my background piece, so let's get a piece. Let's get an ugly piece. Now, if you don't want to waste ink, you can elevate, and I do this a lot, just elevate your stamp onto an acrylic block, and that way you only have to ink the stamp once. And I'm going to stamp some grass on this side, and then I'm going to come over and stamp some grass on the other side. And see how that worked? Perfect. And you only have to ink your stamp once. So let's get these other cards, and we'll just do that really quick. And one last one. And all of our stamping is done. So we'll get those. Oh, we still have to do the month. Excuse me. And we'll just do that. Since the month of June is a very short month anyway, I've been selectively inking only the first 3 letters, but because I was in a hurry and June is very short, it just fit on here anyway, so I just went ahead and stamped the whole thing. Easy peasy was the name of June's tag. Now we need to round the corners. Sometimes I don't do that, but I went ahead and did that on this month's tag. And then we're going to do our sponging with the Lucky Limeade. And boy, are the new ink pads, they are very potent. Very inky. Now I'm going to remove, we may get a little bit of shine just because of my lighting. Going to remove that. Maybe I can turn it just a little bit. Try to get rid of the glare. Now, I have been doing my sponging on the glass mat, and it just makes it go much smoother and you use less ink. Because the new pads are this foam, you can't scrape across them with your sponge. So I just dipped up and down. And then swirl this onto the glass a little bit, and that way you don't get a really strong bit of ink on when you first apply the sponge to your card. You can do it in the lid, but if you don't have the Stampin' Up! Inks, you can just swirl it on your glass mat. So there we go. Very pretty. I really like the way this turned out. We're almost to the end of our name tags. I started in August, so I don't know if I will continue. I might. I'm just not sure. It would almost be fun to get the horizontal ones and do them. Oh, I forgot to punch that corner. I was probably talking too much. So there we are, June's name tags. Oh, I just loved them. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know.